I should be able to see the screen. It should be black. And there is our outline. And it says, of course, y'all got it beside you because I told you to put it beside you, you know, for each day during class. And we don't have to do 2.4. So I don't know why I said do 2.4. I'll look and see if there's homework, but I don't think there is. Is there any 2.4 homework?
No.
Or what?
There is not any 2.4 homework.
Okay. All right. Well, just don't worry about it. We're going to go to 2.5 and 2.6. Now, it says review for the test, but we're not going to do that. We're going to keep on going. And just trust me, you'll understand that when we get here because we're going to be redoing everything that we did here. Everybody understand? So by the time we finish Unit 2, you're going to think Unit 1 is a piece of cake. Everybody with me? So I'd rather you make a 90 on the Unit 1 test and do it later than make a 70 on it and do it now. So just, okay. So I got a couple of nods. So, I mean, I'm not trying to help y'all out at all. I'm trying to get you to sync, but that might help some of y'all out. All right. So I'm going to go to 2.5 and 2.6 today. Let me get this out of the way. Close. And go back to the post screen and move that out of the way. And I'm going to pull up a piecewise function for you. All right, there is a piecewise function. I want you to copy this one down right here. I'm going to snip it. Yeah, I can snip it, I think. So I'm going to snip that out. All right, y'all know how y'all don't like words? Like I guarantee you somebody out there don't like the word moist. I don't care about moist. I hate the word snip. I hate that word. All right, 2 point. But moist don't mind. So I don't know why. I've found that the word that most people cannot stand is the word moist. And I don't understand that because I don't understand why you don't like it. I guarantee you there's somebody in here that hates that word. Anybody? Anybody?
Someone has to.
Well, what kind of word, what word do you hate? I know there's a word out there that you hate.
Everything about it.
What?
I'm not a fan of moist. I'm not a fan of it.
Okay.
It's jarring to hear in a conversation.
I knew there was somebody.
Yeah.
But just like there's a commercial you can't stand. The commercial I can't stand is that stupid emu commercial. I don't mind Liberty Mutual insurance commercials. I just can't stand that stupid guy running around with that emu. That irritates me.
I thought it was kind of cute, though.
Say again?
I thought it was kind of cute. The emu kind of makes it more funny, I guess.
I don't. Different strokes for different folks. I can't stand it.
I hate hearing about the truck farm of Easley.
Yeah, I don't see that one. I don't watch local channels because I don't watch the local news because the local news is a joke. That's why I don't watch it. I don't watch the local channels. The only time I watch the local channels is when they have a special something on NBC or CBS. I don't watch those channels. No offense, but I just don't watch them. All right, a piecewise function. What is a piecewise function? A piecewise function is a graph that's in pieces. That's why it's called a piecewise function. Now, I'm not going to test you on too many of these, but I'll show you the type that I will test you on. The one that I will test you on is one like this one. And that's the one I was going to snip out. And I'm going to now, new. This is a trick I learned in the war. There we go. And I'm going to save that. and call it capture, and get out of that. Pull up my handy dandy whiteboard. Y'all are impressed. I'm impressing y'all, ain't I? I know I am. All right, so picture. No, insert image. And download. And capture. There we go. All right, so there is our graph. I want you to write that down. I'll make it bigger, because I know I got a diva out there somewhere. I can't see, I can't see. There you go, I'll make it big. There you go. Write that down. That is a test question right there. And make sure I got at least eyes and foreheads, okay? No, I don't want to see any ceiling fans, okay? Poor vision equals diva, yeah. No, I just always have a student in the class that no matter how much I magnify everything, they'll say, "Oh, can you blow it up a little bit more?" I'm like, "Dang." So anyway, there it is. Now I want you to graph those two. I want you to graph 4x and negative 1/2 x plus 9. And if you understand what this means and what this means, I want you to apply it. And do it with a pencil. I don't want you doing it with a pen, because you're going to have to erase some of it. So do this with a pencil. Do it in 2 different colors if you can. But I want you to graph 4x, and I want you to graph negative 1/2 x plus 9. I'll leave it up there for a few more seconds. And I want you to graph it on a piece of graph paper if you got it. You should have graph paper. All you got to do is look it up and print a page. Not that difficult. I would ask if there's any good movies this weekend, but there are no good movies. So, but I am going to watch when it comes on Direct or HBO Plus or whatever. I am going to watch that. I done forgot the name of it again. Well, why I can't remember the name of that movie.
Shang-Chi?
No, no, I don't care about that.
Oh,
I'm not a Marvel comic nut.
Oh, good.
The movie about the veteran that's deaf or blind, and he beats up on people that try to rob him. What's the name of it?
Oh, I saw that.
Oh, did you see the second one?
I just saw like all the advertisements for it. And
I watched the first one like twice. I love the first one when he kills those robbers. I love that. Although he's a little bit warped. Having that chick in the basement, that's a little bit, that's a little bit Silence of the Lambs. Would you like some lotion? Rub it over your body. That's a little bit creepy. But I want to see it. What's it called? Don't Be Heard or Don't... I can't ever think of the name of that movie.
Is it Don't Breathe?
Don't breathe.
Don't Breathe.
Don't
Breathe 2. I'm waiting for it to come out on Direct because I don't like people and I don't want to I don't want to go to no movie theater when people are lying around in like a bed. No. I'm sorry. There's too many perverts in Anderson. Last time I went to that movie theater, they were putting beds in there, and I'm like, nah, that ain't gonna work. It's gonna be, I give it at least a month, and somebody's gonna be arrested. All right, so here we go. Let's go ahead and graph these. How about 4x? Well, 4x, it goes through the origin. And it's 4 over 1, so that's 4 vertical and 1 horizontal. So this is how I would graph it. I would take my handy dandy, I'm going to do it in blue. And I would put my There's our spot, because since it doesn't have +0, that crosses at the origin. And I'm gonna take little dots, little blue dots, and I'm gonna go 4 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 over. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 over. So I've got a line, and that's not big enough, so I'm gonna use the big dots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and there. So everybody should agree with me that the blue dots represent 4x. But what numbers can I use? I can only use what numbers for 4x? That means I want somebody to say something.
-2 to +2. Any numbers in between those?
I can only use -2 to +2, and I can touch -2 and +2. So what does that mean? That means my line can only go between -2 and +2. So I'm going to draw a blue line. I'm going to make it skinny. And I'm trying to get it to work. There. And since I can touch those two, I'm going to put a closed circle on that line. Everybody with me? So that is the blue line, 4x, from -2 to +2. -2, +2. Everybody see that? And now I'm going to do the other one. I'll do it in, I don't want to do it in red, so I'm going to do it, and I really don't want to do it in green either, but let's see if I can do it in maybe that magenta. All right, so where do I cross the y-axis? At 9, right? 9. +9 right here. And we've got a negative slope. The negative slope means I've got a line going left to right down, and I'm going to take my yellow, thin line. I'm just going to draw a line going like that. I don't know how it's going to go yet, but it's a negative slope. And 1 over 2. So I'm going to take my, I'm going to have to use the red dot, I'm sorry. And I'm going to go 1 down, 2 over. 1 down, 2 over. 1 down, 2 over. And I can only use numbers from where? Well, let me turn on my red highlighter. Well, my red line maker. And I can only go from 2 to what?
4.
I can only go from 2 to 4, but I can't use 2. I can't use 2, but I can use 4. So I'm going to put a line from 2. Well, that's not a line, sorry. I hit the wrong button. I suck. There we go. From 2 to 4. Now I can use 4, so I'm going to leave that a solid line. but I can't use this one. So I'm going to take my eraser and I'm going to erase, I'm going to erase that. And I'm going to put an open circle. This is a mouse, so. And I'm going to draw my line again. There. And that is a piecewise function. That's it. Anybody got a question on that one? So what do you have to do a piecewise function? You got to know how to graph. You got to know how to graph the two functions. You got to know what these less than or equal to means versus a less than or greater than. This means an open circle. This means a closed circle. Question, gripe, complaint. That's a test question. We'll do one more. Because I want to make sure everybody understands it, and I really didn't want to do that. So I'll take my big eraser. And get rid of that. Well, I'll get rid of this in just a second. All right, let's go back and pull up another problem. And there is there. Mine was a little bit off, but because my drawing is a little bit off, but there it is right there. There's touches, mine don't. So you got to be careful. And let's look at another question. All right, you try this one. I'll snip it out and make it bigger for you. Snip. Save. Capture. Yes. Okay, now I'm going to go to the whiteboard. And I'm going to delete this one. Excuse me. And I'm going to bring in a new one. Y'all just have to bear with me a second. I'm going as fast as I can. There you go. All right, draw that one. And that's two test questions. And like I said, that is not too difficult. What movie were you talking about, Mr. Bates? You said it's the wrong movie. Which one will you say was boring? I don't see your video, Mr. Bates. Are you on video? Yeah, I'm not big on The Quiet Place. I watched both of them. It's okay. I just a little bit unreal. I mean, I'm not big on movies like that. Now, Predator, I love the Predator. Predator's my boy. I like the Predator. Any of those movies, I love the Predator. I didn't care too much for Predator 2, but I love the last one because it's got Olivia Munn in it. But I love horror movies. I love them. Michael Myers, Jason, and I love all the Conjuring movies. Love those movies. I love Possessions, House Possessions. I love those kind of movies. Love them. I don't care nothing about the movies where the house invasions. I don't care nothing about that. I don't understand zombies. I think that's the dumbest thing ever been created. That's the dumbest thing. I never have got into zombies. And I don't like movies that try to interject comedy into a horror movie. I don't like that either. That's stupid. So I don't like those Scream movies. I don't like those movies at all. Annabelle. I like Annabelle. Annabelle, that's a tough little doll, Annabelle. Yes, I love the Conjuring movies. Love the Conjuring movies. I hope they make more of them. Of the people that went into those are good movies. All right, before somebody complains, let's go over this problem. All right, so we got x plus 2. So that means we've got a y-intercept of 2 and 1 to 1. That's a 45-degree angle. All right, there's that line. But we can only use numbers what? Somebody tell me what numbers we can use.
0 or smaller.
0 or smaller. So I take my blue marker. Blue. And I start at 0. And there's my line. And I erase these two because I can't use them. And you can touch 0, so it's okay. So I'm going to take my eraser and I'm going to erase those two. Now, 1/2 x squared. I'm just going to go over here and I'm just going to don't make fun of my mouse drawing, okay? And I'm going to pick, since that's a 2 on the bottom, I'm going to pick, and I can't use negative numbers, so I'm going to pick 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 squared is 1. 1 times 1/2 is 1/2. 2 squared is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 3 squared is 9. That's going to be 9/2. And 4 squared is 16 divided by 2 is 8. So I'm going to take my red marker. So 1 and 1/2. 1 and 1/2. 2 and 2. 3 and 4.5. 4 and 8. And now we've got a parabola, and I'm going to use a straight line because I can't draw with a mouse. I can't draw, period. I can only use numbers that are greater then what? I can only use numbers that are greater than 0.
0.
So that means I can only use these numbers. I can only use these numbers. So that's what your drawing should look like. You should have a closed circle on the blue, and you should have an open circle on the red. And that's piecewise functions. So make sure you're able to understand what a piecewise function is, because that's the two that I would probably test you on. Capiche? Y'all settle down, please. And let's go to 2.5. No, 2.6. Now, okay, I'm not gonna use that because I'm just gonna show you. So let's go to the handy dandy whiteboard and go to the next page. And I'm going to show you what functions are, and y'all already know how to do functions. Back in pre-algebra, you were told to take x plus 1 and add it to x minus 2. And you did. Distributed a 1, distributed a 1. And that's x plus 1 plus x minus 2. And then you did x plus x is 2x. And 1 minus 2 is negative 1. So you did that in pre-algebra, and that's adding. You were told to subtract. This is add. This is subtract. X plus 1 minus x minus 2. And you distributed a 1 here and a negative 1 here. And that gives you x plus 1 minus x plus 2. X's cancel and you get 3. So you were told to add and subtract, and you were told to multiply. X plus 1 times x minus 2, and you use the FOIL method. And that's x squared plus x, or minus x, minus 2. And you were told to divide. And luckily in this case, you don't do anything but x plus 1 divided by x minus 2. The only thing you can do is put them on top of each other. And you were taught how to do 4 operations of algebra. Everybody with me? Everybody remember that in pre-algebra? Well, yes. Now you got to hold your pinky up because that's not sophisticated enough. Now you got to do this. F of x is equal to x plus 1. G of x is equal to x minus 2. And I want you to give me f plus g of x, f minus g of x, f times g of x, and f divided by g of x. And what are you going to get? What are you going to get? That means I want somebody to communicate.
F of g of x.
You're going to get the same thing that you got in what? Pre-algebra.
Pre-algebra.
You're going to get the same thing. 2x minus 1, 3, x squared minus, or x minus 2, and x plus 1 over x minus 2. A lot of people don't even realize that they know how to do functions. They just don't know how to do it because of the way it's presented. You learned how to do functions way back in pre-algebra. You learned how to do this way back. Now, you hold your pinky up while you're doing it. Okay? There's either one, here's one that a lot of people don't even realize they know how to do. Do y'all remember doing one like this in Algebra 1? Y is equal to 4x plus 1. 2x plus 3y is equal to 6. Somebody solve that for me. I want you to take a minute, each one of you, and I want you to solve that for x and y. Some of you may be able to do it, some of you may not be able to do it. But I want to show the class that somebody knows how to do it because you've done it before. So go ahead and try it. I'll give you a minute because it's 9:49 right now. I'll give you a minute to work on it. Actually, I want y'all to feel pretty bad about yourself. I want you to be discouraged. Right, Mr. Vaught?
Oh,
Did I say Vaught right? Is it Vaught, V-O-T?
yeah, it's close enough. Yeah.
Close enough?
G silent, you know.
The G is silent, so Vaught. Okay. We could go through and take 5 minutes and make fun of people's names. We could do that. No, we can't do that anymore. Not in the United States of buttercups, pansies, and snowflakes. We can't do that anymore.
But South Park, man, that's what we grew up on.
What?
I said we grew up on South Park. I don't know why.
I tell you what, you grew up on South Park, but y'all, that's one of the things that amazes me. Y'all grow up on South Park and killing prostitutes on Grand Theft Auto,
Yeah.
but you can't be offended by anything.
I don't know, man.
We watched a coyote run around chasing a roadrunner, and we're crazy. Y'all watch Grand Theft Auto and do Grand Theft Auto and offended by that. It just blows my mind. Here we go. If y is equal to this, what can I do with 4x plus 1?
Plug it into the second equation for 2x plus 3 times 4x plus 1 equals 6.
2x plus 3 times 4x plus 1. And solve. 2x plus 12x plus 3 is equal to 6. 14x plus 3 equals 3. I don't care what you come out with. I got 3/14. Is that what y'all got?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is what I want you to concentrate on. And this. What did y'all call this? It starts with an S.
Substitution.
There you go. Y'all are winners. So, does everybody agree with me that you learned how to do substitution in Algebra 1 and Algebra 2? Okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not sophisticated enough. F of x is equal to 4x plus 1. And I'm going to change this a little bit. G of x is equal to x squared. And I want you to give me f composed of g, g composed of f composed of f, and g composed of g. And somebody tell me what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to substitute. Now, this is where I kind of go away from other teachers. I'm going to take my highlighter. The first letter is highlighted green. Green means draw a big A set of parentheses. Draw a BA set of parentheses. So I want you to draw f of x. I want you to rewrite f of x with a big set of parentheses. I want you to draw g of x with a big set of parentheses. F and g. And the yellow, this is the second letter. And yellow stands for plug and chug. So G, I'm going to plug in right here. F, I'm going to plug in right here. F, I'm going to plug in right here. And G, I'm going to plug in right here. So somebody tell me what G is. X squared. Somebody tell me what F is. 4x.
4x
plus
plus 1.
F, 4x plus 1, and G. All right, finish them. Take a minute. It's 9:55. Finish them. I'll never forget my college algebra class. Right before I dropped, we went over this, and I was totally lobotomized. You ought to see how some teachers explain this. And what makes it so bad is you know how to substitute. You learned how to substitute back in Algebra 1 and 2.
The book seems to make everything look so much harder.
Yep. So here I am. I'm going to erase this. And here's my answers. 4x squared plus 1. This is shortcut number 1. So that's going to be 16x squared. 16x squared plus 8x plus 1. This is going to be 16x plus 4 plus 1 is 16x plus 5. Oh my gosh, I don't know if we can handle this or not. X to the 4th. And like I said, the actual function, the actual composition, you learned how to do back in Algebra 1 and Algebra 2. Composition is nothing but what? Substitution. Composition is nothing but substitution. And I guarantee you, some of y'all have sat through an algebra class and went through the composition and was confused. Anybody wanna share? Yes or no? Anybody ever gone through an algebra course and went through the composition and was confused?
Yeah,
That's it.
algebra 1. Like
The
that.
my first go round in school, I got a D in math 102, and then the second time I went to school a few years later, I got a much better teacher and I got an A.
It all depends on how it's presented. Okay? All right. Well, I wasn't able to get very far because we got to go. So that gets you to 2.5. Now, what I want everybody to have done for me Monday, write this down. I want you to either be done with 2.1 to 2.5, excluding 2.6, I'm sorry. 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.5, 2.6. I want you to either be done with it or I want to see questions Monday, because if I don't see questions Monday, we're going on to chapter 3. Capiche? We will have a test, but we're not going to have it yet. We're going to have it right before. We're going to have Unit 1 and Unit 2 tests together. All right, I'm going to call the roll. I'm going to shut down everything. And let me call the roll.